Ooh. All right. All right. Hey, I'm Eric. I'm making a game. It's called the Godkiller. I feel weird. 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 It's hard to explain it. So I keep on getting these sort of like ideas, stuff to put in the game, and it's not the right time to be having all these ideas. And I think what's going on is I want the game to be so fucking great, and it might just be really good. And so I keep on just sort of thinking, what if I put this one thing in there? Wouldn't that be just amazing if I just stick like this one thing where you see like a miniature army marching around this little ledge that's in one of the levels? I think I gotta let most of the stuff like that go and just focus as fuck on getting the thing released. I think this is the time when that has to happen. So anyways, my brain's all churny. It's all sloshing around. And, it's very active, and it's very engaged with the project. And that's good. When I've been at this for, a couple years. But I need to stay focused on getting it released. That's very important. It's very important. So I can't fall off that path. I have to stay on that and not say, okay, let's get this other thing in there. That'll be cool. All right. Anyways, enough of that navel gazing. Let's show a little bit of recently completed work. Okay. All right. So I think I went over some of this yesterday. I have a workflow with Isaac, this fellow in Brazil, who is the 3D character modeler. And I've been giving him things like this. Concept art, very rough. Showing the character at some different angles. There's a few reference points, like here's a character model he previously created. And I said, Billy should be, coming up to the shoulders of this other model. And then I do some different angles, expressions. Part of the repetition here is for communication. But also part of it is, it's a little bit like when you choose a new password. You want to do it more than once to verify that, you got the password. So I want to draw the character more than once to feel like the shapes are satisfying and there's not something extra that has to be worked out on it. So Billy got sent to him. Also, Groldy got sent to him. Groldy is not a single character, but is a type of game element. I don't think I've got any speaking parts for any of the Groldies. This is one Groldy. And, so we use some other art or some other character models for this game element that was meant to belong to a totally different game element. And that was just temporary. So it was a placeholder. But now we've got coming up pretty soon. Let's see. We've got a 3D models for both these. They're low poly 3D models. Okay. Now, also, yesterday I made some new concept art along the same lines. Let's see if I all right, here's Glyph. Okay, and Isaac was mostly preoccupied with the first two character models I requested from him. But he also, just today, came up with a little bit of an exploration of the character model that goes with this concept art. Let me see if I can do this without giving away all my private secrets. Let me temporarily go to this big stupid head mode. Then come back over to my email. And then let's see. Let's open up let's download that. Then let's close the email. And let's close other things that are maybe not the best thing for me to share publicly. And go back to the work screen. Here we go. All right, so then just to refresh your memory, here's Glyph. And then he just today made this, the head. Which is pretty freaking cool when you can sketch together some concept art from a few different angles and bam, that's right on. You know, that's really matching what I made. So I got a real good partnership with this guy. He's doing fine work. We are complementing each other quite well, I think. And he seems to be enjoying creating the models. I've got 4 more to send him. I think I will do some more concept art tonight, but I'll probably do it off stream. So I don't know yet, like if like people want to watch me scribble around on concept art. It might be like a thing like if I work on code stuff on the stream, then like the regulars that pop in who I like quite a bit will continue popping in, and if I switch to a bunch of art, then maybe those people get bored, and then I have to find. It doesn't really matter. Like I don't really care that much about like which people come and hang out and chat, other than I just like some of the people. And it's pleasant to have them around. I don't mind talking, and it's often enjoyable. But I'm not really seeking to grow out the stream or anything. If it happens, it happens. I'm really focused on just getting the work done. But all that in mind, I think just for the time being, I might focus on doing some programming stuff and then go off stream and do some more concept art. And I can share it tomorrow, you know, at the demo portion of the stream. But it might not be that entertaining for everyone to watch it, you know. So, okay. So what I will do today, I've got grab bag up at the top of the screen, you can see. So I'm planning to just pick some things from my backlog, bugs and stuff, and get them fixed. Okay. So this one I would like to do. I think it might be good to just do these 2-face bugs in this session. Because I do like to not kid myself about being done with the face. I said that I'm done with it, but then I see a couple bugs here. They seem like significant enough that I should just finish them, fix them, and then I can go back to saying I'm at 100% on the face. Okay, so let me demo the problem that I'm going to fix. Yeah, this is crazy. When I change screen resolutions, things get confused. This is a great time to just close Unity and reopen it. You can see all these letters that are just sort of partially revealing what words they belong to. Okay, let's just restart Unity. I had a pathetic moment last night when I was hanging out on Jonathan Blow's stream, and some other chatter on the stream who was not prompted by me in any way, didn't know I was there, said, "Hey, at J Blow, have you ever played a game kind of like the one you're making called Drod?" And here's the pathetic part. I was like, "Oh, that's my game. I made that game. Maybe I will hear right now if the great Jonathan Blow, whose games I've greatly enjoyed, has at some point played my game." And And I was like just all excited, like, oh, baby, baby. He didn't notice the comment, or he didn't choose to answer it. I felt like an idiot. I felt like an idiot for like caring so much, I should say. All right, so let's play this, and but I have had other people that have made really cool games that I enjoyed, who also enjoyed my games, and I am proud of that, and it did make me happy to kind of share that with them. So yeah, I'm not even gonna say, because then it sounds like I'm name dropping or something, but yeah. And I used to see like people buying my game. Every time that like somebody would buy a game, like a little email would come in and say such and such person has purchased the game. It'd be like a copy of their I don't know, their, what do you call it, invoice or whatever you call it, for the receipt for the game, whatever. And I'm not gonna name drop, but like every once in a while, somebody who was kind of like famous in games and stuff would have bought the game that I made, and I'd go, oh, so cool. So I love that stuff. I'm not immune to it. It is a little bit pathetic, but oh well. Okay, so the thing to fix is when you fall, I kind of want all the faces to turn off. I think it might be a more general principle than that. If something's dead, and at this point the game kind of thinks of you as being dead, your face shouldn't be visible anymore. Playing with it a bit here. So if I die here, definitely my face should not be visible. If another creature dies, their face should not be visible. They are just dead. Okay, so I think the criteria is any creature that is not alive should not have their face visible. And the other thing is that if you are falling, it's your death animation for falling to a great height, all faces should be not visible. I think those are the two requirements. And I just need to make a clean way of adding that in without the already complex logic of the face controller becoming hard to maintain. So let me think about that a little bit. Okay, the requirements, just what I said. I'm just going to type it out so I have it in front of me to remind me. Any character that is not alive should not have a visible face. Okay, say when player is in falling death animation, no faces should be visible. Okay, so those are the requirements. And I'm trying to think of, instead of having a bunch of code that says if this and this and this and this and this and this and this, then don't show the face. I'm looking for general principles. So I already have hiding faces if the player's camera is ducking. I already have that. So maybe this is maybe a small problem with picking the right words, but Let me free associate a little bit. Let's see, just say it the stupid way first. If faces are going to look weird, don't show them. If faces will look weird, don't show them. I'm writing like the name of the function name. I like a good function name. It helps me out later on. If his face rendering, if visible faces would be confusing. Then hide them. Okay, and then and the other one I don't need a special name or anything. Okay, and okay, that encapsulates camera ducking and falling animation. What's the logic it's going to check? Okay, phase controller. You know, maybe I should say it a slightly different way. Blondington. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. I'm just grab bagging today. I'm just picking stuff off the backlog, bugs and stuff, and fixing them. What are you up to? Or what's new with you? Say, what are you up to? And you could go like, I'm watching your stream. Hallway logic. I don't know what you mean by hallway logic. Just thinking about my hallway logic. My hallway logic is the thing I want to go to in front of me in the hallway or behind me? If it's behind me, I'll turn around. If it's in front of me, I'll go forward. And then if I'm at the right place in the hallway for the thing, is it on the left or right? That's my hallway logic. But I'm just being a bullshitter. Huh. think I'm missing the context. You got some things that are moving around in the hallways. Is it 3D or is it 2D? I don't know. I could make you do so much typing, but I don't understand your situation very well. I'm not sure if you're wanting any help either. Like, you might just be saying you're working on it, or you might be saying maybe you might help me with this. I don't know. But I'm happy to help if I can. I should just say our face is enabled, or it's like coming up with a good name is like it's a way to make sure you've got it conceptually correct. I think that's not the right name. Let's see. Okay, there's a 2D square that can move through hallways. If the player reaches the end of a hallway that doesn't lead to anything, then the player travels outside the map. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're just sharing. That's cool. That's one thing I wanted to check, because I know sometimes I just like launch right in with how can I help, and you don't necessarily want to help. Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you're still going with the games. I was worried you might give up earlier. Then some other guy came on and like 1 or 2 streams back, and he was like trying to get into making games, and he says, "How do I make games?" And I was thinking about like all the stuff that you'd been through recently, and also some other people that came on, and it was just like just make something simple. Just start with something simple and kind of build up from there. And I think you cleared over quite a few of those early obstacles that people hit, which is really, really kind of cool. Somebody else just starting out, and he's got to go through the same stuff or some form of it that you did. Well, I'm working on some fixes to face animation. So I've got these faces. Okay, and if you fall off the side, they look weird. They follow you down, so I just want them to turn off. If you fall off the side, I don't want them to follow you down. I want all the faces to turn off if you happen to just fall off them. And the other one is if you die, or the other character dies, then the face should not be present while any character is dead. So those 2 things is what I'm up to. So I was tempted to do something like, here, let's leave that there. Oh, thank you. Enable faces or disable faces, but the problem is with that is that there can be multiple reasons I did draw the face. Yeah. There could be multiple reasons for enabling or disabling the faces, and no one cause should be the reason for it, the sole reason for it. So there could be one module that says we need to disable the faces. But it shouldn't be able to say we should enable the faces. Maybe our faces disabled. Set face enabled. Stakeholder ID, true or false. Or you could say our face is disabled, checks all possible reasons. And other things, say set falling animation true false. Well, Face Manager is the one that would know if the faces should be disabled or not. Hey, Z. Face Manager knows, and since it's going to get that explicit update thing called, it could return a Boolean. Return true if face is visible or not. So if that's what happens, and Face Manager can check if piece is alive, can check if the player camera is ducked, check if this stuff. I can say inside of update if not explicit update. Fade to not visible. That's probably pretty good. Let me see. Is ducking. Had a lot of logic in there around ducking. Let me check out that. Okay, I do have that here. Oh man, I'm getting confused between my three classes. All right, Plungyton, good to hear from you. Good luck on the hallways. Thank you, sir. All right, so let me think about these. Just what are these three classes? What are they really for? Face manager. Concerns that span multiple faces. Face controller. General controls for one face. That exclude rendering. In different ways. Face player. Bad name for a class. I might consider renaming it. The specific, let's see, the face renderer for faces that are shown above pieces. So maybe I should rename this thing to like piece face renderer. But for now, let's let that be. That can be a different decision. Put this up top as a reference. Okay, and then face controller is the one that had the explicit update, actually. Yeah. Is that true? Was it Face Manager? Yeah. And then if I want Face Manager, is there a find self on it? Is it a bootable? It's probably a find self. Yeah, there is. Okay. Face player is gonna get called not by Face Manager. It's gonna get called with the mono behavior update. It will call face controller explicit update. Really not liking that function name as much as I did. Face controller's got is visible. Oops. So I don't want to use is visible to set its visibility. I want to just fade it out if it should be faded out. So for that, I can handle that from Face Manager. This Face Manager's got its own update loop. It's got this stuff here to hide everything. So this thing where it says camera is ducked, let's just change this to be should hide all faces. Okay. Okay, now for hiding individual faces. I guess it kind of makes sense to have it all in here. I could do something like hide dead faces. Like right here. And now we'll just set the opacity on the faces that corresponded to characters that were dead. Okay, I think that's the way to do it. Okay, so this is going to be an update. Last thing that's a little bit tricky, how to tell if it's a falling animation is in progress. I'm going to go look at that code and see if there's something fall effect. Fell. Alright, so if I'm falling. A pretty easy way to do this is just in this function, I would call some kind of flag setter on Face Manager to say whether or not we're doing an infinite fall right now or not. Hey Goose, what's going on? You're gonna say some crazy complicated thing when I ask you that. Dang it! You proved me wrong. You proved me wrong. Instantly proved me wrong. The thing I know is that because there's a little bit of a delay there, my prediction came in probably after you had pressed the send or enter key. So you probably couldn't have been influenced. Okay. Release from the hospital. What happened? If you don't feel like talking about it, that's cool. Yeah. Oh. Abscess makes the butt grow fonder. Sorry, that sounds really annoying. Yeah. Well, I went to the hospital a while back too. I thought it might have been a heart thing, but it wasn't. It was something else. Scared myself. And then in the American system of hospitals, you get 4 different bills that come to you afterwards, and it's really annoying. Okay, I'll just assume you're standing someplace. I'll picture you behind me, looking over my shoulder. But anyways, I will explain what I'm doing if you feel like listening. I'm just creating some criteria for hiding faces. Yeah. I just thought through it just because I don't want it to get like all kind of like growing by accretion, poorly maintained, hard to maintain later type stuff. So I think I came up with something I'm happy with. So we'll say this will be refactored. And I'll create like a new variable. Now I do poor man's unit testing, which is saying a bunch of breakpoints in all different branches for something that's tricky, and then I'll hit play and let the debugger hit all the points in it. And then even then I'm not that scrupulous. Let's see. But I have, I don't know what the official name of this is, but I do have level replay solutions. Yeah. I've written a lot of unit tests. I've advocated for them. I think there's some situations where I think they're more valuable. So if you're in a team situation, they become more valuable. Game code seems to not benefit as well from unit tests because it's a little bit harder to make all the interactions and everything be testable. In my case, I've got... Alright, I won't keep on talking then. Okay, bool is... let's see if I can make this some more. I mean, it's a cutscene. That's basically what it is. Or is non-standard camera movement is special case camera movement. Okay. Special case camera movement in progress. Special camera movement in progress. Okay, I like that. And let's just make it public. Make it a property. Stop it. Why do you do that? Why would you just... Why? I think I do not have the right syntax. I think I've not understood these correctly or something. No, it will be. That's really terrible how you try to insert other things into it, though. Okay. So we'll just say... suppose. No, this is good. This is good. Okay. And then inside of my following effect for infinite here, we'll say face. Let's set this. Face manager, face manager, bam. I wonder if there's already something built into the camera mover that I could play off of. Let me check what I've got there already. So set target. Who calls set target? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, what I was saying about unit tests is, although there is a place for them in games, I do not see as much value to like doing things like we're going to get 70% branch coverage on everything, you know, stuff like that. And also when you have a team of engineers, there's less room for, say, common sense or an individual engineer figuring out like what is the true value of having unit tests for this or that. So you end up being a little more bureaucratic. You end up saying everybody's going to write unit tests to reach a certain level of coverage, and that's how we know that nobody's cheating. And then some people write some stupid unit tests, but it's okay because you got to maintain a certain level of code quality with a large team, and that's a reasonable way to get it done. When it's just me, I will say this module will definitely benefit if I write some unit tests for it, so I will write unit tests for it. Otherwise, I might say, nah, not gonna. Instead, I will do my own sort of review in the debugger. I also have one other type of test, which I like quite a bit, I just created, which is the level solutions that other players generate, like in my playtesting group, are uploaded to a server that I created, and then I pull those solutions out, and then I just replay them. I just see if they're able to reach the end of the level by playing back the solutions. And if they are, that's a successful test. So that's my testing strategy for this particular project. Yeah. So that whole 70% thing, that's like a thing to keep managers sane, as opposed to the engineers. Particularly like if you've got people on your team that are a little bit junior and they're not maybe looking after code quality as well as they could be. Or you got, you know, some sort of mercenary contractors. Hey, Mateo, how you doing, man? Yeah. So bureaucracy, people will give it too hard of a... people hear the word bureaucracy and they think only the negative aspects of bureaucracy, but the good things are it lets you get through a bunch of situations that have similar aspects without thinking too hard about them. Because the cost of like considering everything is difficult too. All right, so I am using set target. In the places where there's non-standard camera movement. I'm just thinking about this. Is there a way that I can get this to trigger the same general purpose thing that I want to guard against in my facial animation? Because this other case, here, there's also one where I don't want the face to be showing. If you are at the end of the level and the camera is now tracking upward with you and you're floating away, I don't want faces to show at that point either. So this looks potentially good. Now I need to figure out how to exit out of this state. Special casedness. Okay, it would be this onboard change. So if set target is called, then it's like I'm entering a mode. And that mode, I can call it is explicit target set, or something very close to that wording. Okay. Well, is explicit target set. Let's say yes. Okay, and down here, as soon as you make some movement on the board, the camera target will be updated, and then as explicit target set will become false. Should I put that in update camera target? I think so. Yeah, this is getting a lot cleaner. And also, by making an effort to generalize, it helped me discover one other case I hadn't considered. So let's see, public pool. Let's make this a property. Get private set. Move this up above. Okay, and then I can go to this thing I no longer have to write. What I was gonna write, some junky code that says, oh, you gotta go tell the face manager, we're doing explicit targeting. Now it's just gonna be a general principle that the camera mover exposes. And then I can go back to face manager, and I can say camera mover is explicit target set. It's much nicer. Okay, and let's say the other one I want to do. Yeah, let's wait. Let's make sure this works good. This I can get rid of. Don't need it. Okay, did I get rid of the thing up here? I did. Okay, so that's all good. Okay. Always you're complaining about something. Let me see what you would propose I do. Oh, I guess that is better. Except that, okay, let me see. I'm learning from Writer. See, but this, yeah. Okay. I guess that is better. Yeah, that's following the pattern. All right. I also want to be able to check camera ducking logic, so let's add in an overhang. Pre-process, and let's see how it works. Okay, face is still here, cool. Yeah, so if I come over here, the camera should duck down and the faces should both disappear. They are, good. So I did not regress there, that's good. Now let's try dropping off the edge of the world. DZ! Maybe that partially worked? Not really though. It seemed like this face over here maybe did get hidden. Let me try it. Here, let's move you over here. Might have been that based on who was talking and it re-enabled it. I don't know. Anyways, let's do the debugger. Go to the face manager. Okay, so let's do it this way. Is explicit target set. So this will probably get called a whole bunch. Oh, I don't have the debugger on. Okay, so that's right. Maybe there's like an order that these go in, but I would think it would go first this one set to false, and then the effect executes, and it should set this to true. Okay, first that one, then this one. This is the following effect starting. Perform infinite fall. Then I'm going to go over to the face manager, set one more breakpoint here. Oh, play. Okay. So this should return true. Camera mover. So I don't know why. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So it's not ducked. Explicit target is set to true. So should all faces is going to return true. Okay, are the faces already hidden? No. So this part should work. Okay. So from here on out, I would expect until the end of the falling animation for this, the execution to keep coming here. So let's hit play. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now there's another call to set target for this performing infinite fall thing. Okay, so here we're saying we're at the end of the falling to your death animation. Let's just move the camera. No, we're midway through it. We're midway through the death animation. This is going to be the one where we're at the end, okay. But still, this should continue to set the explicit target. And it is right here. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay, we're already hidden. So since we're already hidden, or at least fading out, we just return without doing anything. Okay, again, we're setting the target. Again, okay, there's going to be a lot of these. Okay. Okay, so here for the first time, we're turning the explicit target off. So now, I'm expecting the faces to just pop back in. But that's not what I'm seeing, though. Yeah, so now we're all showing faces. Is this a question of the fade taking longer than the falling animation? That's the speaking opacity. But I just set it to 0 though. Okay. But if I do this one, it's pretty fast that the faces fade out. Maybe 0.2 of a second or something like that. And her face, it should have faded out, but it did not. I didn't see any reason for it not to. That's bugging me a little bit, I gotta admit. Because the same code that fades the face out here was called, and that works like a champ. When I come over here, the conditions for calling that code that successfully faded the face out are the same, and the code that gets called to fade the face is the same. Whoa, there I saw a fade out. And some other weirdness. Okay. So possibly... the camera movement's influencing it? I don't know about that though. It doesn't seem right. That's a good question. I'm gonna look at it a little closer. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, I actually visually saw it fade out. And no, because the face is 2D art that's drawn on the with GUI. It's not a scene object. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. Now, this time it didn't. That time it did. There might be... something overriding the fade out. Okay, there it didn't fade out. Okay. I'm wondering if it's the start of new dialogue. I'm gonna wait for Billy to speak. Nope. Billy. Okay. Okay, I'm at least happy that I can get this to work for the other case, or fail for the other case too. Yeah, let's see, will it come in after a bit? No. Man, I thought this was going to be an easy one. Kind of finicky timing thing. I want to be able to reproduce this reliably too, so I don't kid myself into thinking I've fixed it if I can't. If I'm just not reproducing it. Okay, there you go. Okay, let me take a look at the logic and start thinking about things that might produce that. Also, I don't think this is a regression. I think it was probably screwed up in the exact same way because I just haven't changed that much. Okay, never mind this part. That's like the new condition, but the old condition is not working reliably. So that's a little bit easier for me to look at. Oh, it might be something with floating point. Okay, camera mover is ducked. I doubt it's this part of it though, because I did see the logical criteria being set correctly. Yeah, I don't know. Just for a test, let's just have isDuct always return false. Or true, I mean. Oh, compilation error. What's the error? Oh, there's no setter anymore. Okay. There's got to be an easier way to do this. Yeah, just someplace else where it's saying isDuct. I'll just change the logic. I'm not sure what can I learn from it. What am I expecting to happen? I guess if it was ducked all the time, but I could still see the problem, that would narrow it out of the logic for determining whether it's ducked or not. Hey, cicada. Now I don't see it popping up at all. What do we have here? I don't know. What do we have here? I don't like those all caps. I feel like you're about to lay something heavy on me. Okay, I do not see the face popping up. No. That's just Billy. He's just a big old scary cat. Okay. Okay, I don't think I learned anything from that test. Because there's probably some interplay with the logic in both places. Let's take that back out. And okay, face manager. If we should hide all the faces, we're gonna say hid faces equals true. We're gonna set all the faces speaking opacity to 0. And then face controller just make sure I get this right. Set all faces opacity. Set the speaking opacity. Okay, so in the controller. Okay, you say if we're speaking This might be it. Some kind of floating point kind of problem. Let me just do a debug log this. So I'll see if this call is being made when I expect it to be made. So the points where my logic says the faces should fade out or fade to nothing, be completely hidden, they should correspond to the console log saying fading face to 0. So in the case where it's failing to fade, I want to know if it's just skipping over that logic. Let's set the maximize off so that I can view in the console. This thing seems to be sort of intermittent or timing critical, so I might have to fuck around with it a bit. Okay, so that's a successful fade. I'm looking for the one where it's not successful. There, no. There we go. So there is a call, fading face to 0. Oh, it did slowly fade to 0. Dang it. If I do second fade, it would overwrite the first fade though. So why did it do that slow fade thing? And this is the last call down here. So this popped up immediately when I ducked under the camera. I'm not sure how that would help. I mean, it feels like I only want to have one fade going on at a time. And the last fade that was asked for should just override what was previously signaled. Although, okay, maybe there is something to what you're saying. So what I did see was a slow fade, which might have been, a second call was made to do the slow fade. And it overrode the first fade. You might have something there. You might have something there. Dang it. I hate it when you're right. I don't know why. I think I think you might have got it, actually. Because now what I'm thinking about, I can understand why. I can understand why my current logic would produce this problem. I think it really is two fades happening at the same time. But the second fade is just a slow ass fade that would take, like 10 seconds to complete. And it's overriding the quick fade, which is more important. So yeah, okay. But then what if two fades come in? You know what? If the second fade that comes in is the same target opacity as the first. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna write out some of the different ideas. Okay, hold on. Let's see. This is the first solution I'm on. Okay. So number one, we'll say, I just gotta get this idea out of my head. I'm actually gonna circle back to yours. If fade number 2, or just n where n is greater than 1, has same opacity target as current fade, use the min duration of the two. So it might stay the same. Okay, number 2. Let me read what you said. Source of the fade and the value. So yours seems more robust over a larger number of situations, but it also means that I would have to be updating multiple fades, which is a little more complex. It might be more than what my solution needs. Although we could generalize it into a general purpose class and then just reuse that for different things, which is what you're saying. Okay, so let's say fade contribution, which was the name of your class. General purpose, general class for tracking multiple fades on a single, I don't know, opacity receiver. For each opacity in the opacities, if the opacity is less than the current opacity. Okay. It seems like that might be wrong, though, if you're going in the opposite direction, fading in versus fading out. Okay, you're just kind of erring on the side of more faded out or lower opacity, which is okay. It's like a, yeah, no, that would be too far. That would definitely be too far. I'm skeptical of like a dictionary lookup, but I don't. That's not a necessary part of your solution, though. Wait, okay, so in your case of the dictionary, you're saying, what is the object when that you're using for the key? I see. I see. I think my aim would be to not manage those. Like, I think my aim would be to have a single fade setting, and when somebody else comes along and makes a new fade request, there's some logic that just kind of consolidates correctly into a new overriding fade request. In a general way, it might be, but for the specific needs of my face fading, I don't know that it's so breakable. Well, I do manage state already just by simply having some interpolation that occurs on each frame between the starting and ending opacity values, and that's the only state that I would be managing in this case. All right, I'm gonna try my way first, and we'll see if I am wrong. Let's see. So. All right, so in fade 2, oh dang it! I already have some code here that sort of does this. Okay. I'm open-minded still, but I don't quite see the, like, if I have a whole bunch of things that are truly influencing the fade, it feels like maybe I've made it a little too complicated just by having multiple things influencing the fade. It seems like you should basically have one fade request going on at a time. Okay. So here I said if we're fading, and if the new opacity that was asked for is the same as fading 2 opacity. Okay. Now I think I get it. I'm handling the case where you get to ignore the second request, which would make it go longer. But in this case, I think there was a first request that was made to fade out slowly, and the second one is a different duration. So we'll say if fade duration is greater than duration, that fade duration equals duration. And then also I have to update the start time. Oh, nah, it's gonna be a little more complex. Okay, this isn't quite right. So we say if well, actually I can do is fading and float, and either, let's see, okay, and that is the same, and not, oh, I'll reverse it in a second, not time. This is probably an example of the straw that didn't yet break the camel's back. So if it works, this is maybe the straw before. But then if I come back and I say, okay, let's add some more crufty crap to it, then it's like, now, come on. Back to the drawing board, generalize it. Refactor into a new class, add some kind of general purpose fade state tracking. Well, all right. Okay, and time. Let's see. Let me double check this. Okay, so we're saying if we're already fading, if the ending opacity is exactly the same or close enough, and the time that the current fade will end, let me write this in the not negative way, and the time that the current fade will end is sooner than if we just start a new fade right now with the new request, then we'll just let the current fade keep going. But otherwise, if we weren't fading before, or the destination opacity is different, or the old fade's going to take longer than the new one will, then we'll go ahead and set up a new fade down here. All right, I'm going to try it. I understand we all got these past traumas and pattern matching and intuitions about things. Mine might be rigged up a little bit differently than yours, but I understand. I just think like my threshold is just a little bit different than yours. Close, but not exactly the same. Okay. All right. Well, there it failed. Okay. Now I'm doubting what I saw. Okay, is the face gonna stay there for me or not? It's like testing multi-threaded code. By the way, I don't know if Goose is still online. This is why I say the use of unit tests in games is not as easily... there, it didn't fade. Or did it? It did fade, but it was like kind of a little bit slow. It's harder to have unit tests that catch things like this. And games are all full of timing issues. There, I think I just came back so fast that it faded back in. Okay. Alright, let me try the other case, which seemed to be easier to get to screw up. Well, there it is. It screwed up. Okay. But I don't know if it's for the same reason. Okay, so that should be turning off the face. Okay, let me see. Is there a call to set it to 0 or not? There is. I just don't have needs for a bunch of fades like that. It's actually probably more correct for my state management to override an existing fade, because I don't want a bunch of fades happening in parallel. That actually gives me less control over really. Are you kidding? I hope you're kidding. I think you're kidding. I don't understand people. Sometimes they would ask for that. I don't know. Okay, just making sure this thing. I feel like I almost was confident it worked. There, it fucked up. There, it fucked up. There, okay, it's not fixed. Yeah, but no, I think it would be a mistake to allow multiple fades to continue for me. I can see the value in some situations of having multiple fades ongoing, but I think it's actually incorrect for my logic to allow multiple fades to progress simultaneously. So let me think about this. I still don't have confidence that that original cause of the problem was the issue. Let me do another thing. just light this up. I know, man, but I can put bool override here. Kind of do the same thing, you know. I just don't at this point in time see value in tracking multiple fades simultaneously. For my particular use case. It might be that I need to get my collar shit in order instead of creating the infrastructure for my collars to run well. My collars meaning things that fade into this. But just kind of like saying, okay, anybody wants to fade, go ahead. We'll sort it out in a centralized way. It's a way of losing control. Maybe being more robust, but losing control of the initial conditions which cause the problem. Okay, debug log. Let's get rid of the other debug log. Whoops, what is that? What just... There we go. Don't need that. Okay, so this one over here is a lot easier to repro, so I'm just going to do this one first. That sounds like a good switch. I kind of had a feeling like it's such an obvious thing to have that I'm reinventing a wheel. So I'll take a look at it. Okay, so the new fade is not overwriting the old fade. I think that's true. Let's... Okay, there we go. Okay, so my logic here is probably wrong. Let me check. Up here, there's probably some other fade that began. Here we go. Fading to 0.75 over 2/10 of a second. Okay, and this. Okay, that one, that one, that one. Get that. So the one here, that's true. That should be fine. And this, actually, this logic seems correct. And down there, it's just high frame rates just spewing the same condition. But this fade should be in progress. Maybe the fade's not happening for some other reason. So like this logic might be correct, but the actual interpolation of the fading value, that code might have some reason why it's being skipped. So let me look into that. Let me also look at let's math f approximately. Yeah, I would rather use this. I'd much rather use this. It was kind of gross to write this function in the first place. But let me, before I commit to that, let's go look it up real quick. If you've got trauma with fades, I've got trauma with floating point. Yeah, I like it. It's tied into the constant. Fade 2. Got this is fading, an update for fading. Let me see. Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, we get the amount of time that's elapsed since the start of the fade. If we're past the end time, we just set the opacity to the end fade value. Return false, signaling there's no more fading. Otherwise, we interpolate a fade value between the beginning opacity, the ending opacity, based upon the ratio of completion of the fade. And then we return true to say we're still going, we're still fading. Man, that seems just so straightforward. But I must be missing something. Let's add one more debug log in here. give it some pattern recognition. Okay. Go over the cliff. I'm going to stop it right away so I don't have such a long spew. Okay. Okay, so it says we're fading. So 0. It's kind of weird to see this 2 times in a row without the insufficient message or sufficient message. Okay, fading code's getting called. Okay, that's getting rejected. I suppose I need to see one other thing. I need to see what opacity we're at. And I think that's going to be what? Opacity? There's this other function too I forgot about. I should look at that. So maybe that's doing something weird. All right, let's clear this, go over the edge. Okay. So a lot of stuff where it's saying it's already reached it. Oh, it might be the other face too. God damn it. I forgot I've got 2 faces in here. That's... okay. Okay, let's just get rid of one of them. That's how I can simplify this. Except I've got all that code I'd have to change to. Let's see. Let me try that. Okay. So it says we're fading, we're already at 0. Okay. That's the first one to fade to 0. I don't know why there's 2 of these messages together. Oh, it might be Billy again because I. Dang it. Freaking Billy. You're confusing everything. Okay. You gotta get rid of Billy. Go away, Billy. That means this might not work quite right. Yeah, null reference thing. Okay. Comment out his lines. There we go. Oh, that time it worked. That time it worked. Do I got like some static variables shared between them or something? Now it's working. No Billy and it works. Consistently, whereas before it consistently failed. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't fix anything. I'm pretty sure if I put Billy back in, it's going to be fucked again. Let's take a look for static variables. Not methods. Static methods are plenty safe. It's the static variables that cause trouble. I wish they would use different keyword. Okay, phase controller has no static variables in it. Phase player. Am I using any statics? That's just a read only. Basically a constant. Okay, so there's no static variables shared there. Face manager. Calls this. It says for each face we're going to set their opacity. Weird thing is, I think I have two bugs here, and I fixed one of them. This is no longer true. I can get rid of that. First bug, I think, was legit. Two fades. The second one overrode the first, but the second one was 10 seconds instead of 0, or 0.2 of a second. Second one, I don't know what it is yet. I can add Billy back in. It's gonna fuck up, I'm pretty sure. Let me do it though. Billy. Get in there, Billy. Okay. Then I could leave out all the stuff that updates Billy, just as some extra thing to test. All right, play. So in this case, no face will display for Billy. All I did is add his character back in. Okay, fade seems to be working all right. Okay. Okay, next thing. Let's just put this back in. And I predict this will fail. I didn't set his motion. That's okay. That one worked. Okay, there's Billy's face appearing for the first time. There's M's. Okay. That gives me no insights, but I have reproduced the problem again. I think I also did see a moment where Billy's face was not there, when the face hadn't been drawn yet. And when I'd hopped over the side, the error was not present. So something to do with Billy's face showing. Wondering about is there some shared data between these two? If there is, I mean, it's not. Let me delete this. It's not going to be something like a render texture or anything at like the graphic hardware level or anything like that. It's going to be some logic that affects the fade. Oh, you don't know that's true. Okay, you don't know that's true. There is one function which does a graphics split. Draw work to screen. Okay. So we'll say if name equals Billy, just return to do delete. So we'll keep all the logic in place except for this thing that actually does the blit, because that function inside of Unity might have some kind of shared structure. I mean, it did other janky things. It's a theory. We can rule it out at least. And then let's go to effect, just to even make it tighter than that. Let's just not do this last call if it's Billy. Because this is the one I'm now suspecting. You pass in this render color when you draw the texture. I don't know, it's a long shot. I'll just rule it out real quick. Yeah, I think there's some other thing over here. Let's put this back in. Okay, so we shouldn't see Billy's face at all. That's right, Billy's face is not showing. So if I go to the side, okay, it was a long shot, didn't work. But that same principle, there's something about Billy's code, or the second of two faces code, is messing this up. So I could just sort of and disable a little more of the logic on the second one. That might narrow it down. So then we go back to face player. And we will take out all the logic and update, and I think on GUI as well. So these would be the two things inside of face player, the two events that constantly say do some work inside of face player. And if I've got them both commented out, as far as the frame updates goes, nothing else is going to call into this. There's like the starting stuff here, but that's just initialization. Okay. I don't think this will fix the error. I think it's just going to allow me to say that the problem is not within the face player code. Okay. So I can take out that disablement and go up a level. Okay, face controller. Let me write some notes. Face controller, no, face player. When all updates and on GUI code disabled for Billy, bugs still present. Okay, next we go to face controller. There's an update function for face player, but it will call into face controller. Okay, so here we'll say we'll skip the face controller state update if it's Billy. Only if it's Billy. Okay, bug still present. Yeah. Okay. So that caused me to believe that the logic inside of face control, I'm not going to say it's not, it doesn't have a bug, but I'm going to say it's not the contributor to the bug. That I'm looking for. Let me look through this a little bit. So there's other stuff that gets called too. Set speaking, okay, set speaking opacity is one thing. So yeah, let's just see if I can rule out face controller. Leaving the start. Just anything that might get called during the updates, I'm going to disable. So no changes to the state there. So many public methods, but lids open them out. That has nothing to do with fading. Same with blinking. I can leave that. Motion I can leave. Vising I can leave. This it's fine. Okay. There was a fade out, but it was pretty slow. Let me try that again. That was a fast fade. That was a fast fade. Okay. That does fix it. No, it doesn't. Oh, man. No, there's some intermittent type thing going on. Okay, so all those disablements. I don't know, is it my imagination or is it like failing at a different rate now? Let's assume that that didn't do anything. Clearly the bug's still there. Okay, so we'll say face controller. Disabling all blinking, fading related public methods and general updates for Billy. Bug still present. Okay. So I can go up a level to the face manager. Update faces to stare at speaking face. I don't think there's anything fading in here. Fading related. I could take out this override low opacity thing. Just try that. It's an easy one to try real quick. I might as well take out this other one too. Okay. Because these other ones, I have to write some slightly different code. Okay, saw the bug. Okay, so then let's. This is a little blunt, but For the initialization of the faces, I can take out belly from it. And I'll be surprised if that's not enough to get the bug to go away. Where do they get set? Faces equal. Dang it. No. Okay, that gets set there. Register. If this doesn't make the bug go away, I'll be really surprised. I'll be like, maybe I need to redo that first test again. Okay, that did seem to fix it. No, it did not. The fuck? I'm going a little bit crazy here. Okay, intermittent thing going on. I don't like it. Because now I just saw like a whole bunch in a row where it worked. Okay, there it didn't work. So now, because of the intermittent nature of the whole thing, I'm wondering if the first thing I tried was actually a good fix. It almost feels like something frame rate related. Like maybe if I have more things going on, the frame rate slows down a little bit and the code runs differently. I'm also noticing, let's see. No, that's okay. That's not anything. I don't know. This feels like something I'm going to have to come back to later on fresh. But because I really hate ending without some kind of concrete progress, I'm going to go do a simpler task so I can finish on a good note and it won't fuck up my sleeping. Let's save that. Let's go to a scene and just fix some rails, which is what my brain is about able to do right now. Okay, so I did, which one did I do last? I know I did that one. I did average basement, I think I did. Let's go check it. Make sure I did it. Yeah, I did this one. I did this one, okay. Beards, block, axles. I think I did this one. This one I remember, but I will check it. It will not take me long. Alright. So if there's LOD issues, I would see them right in here. Okay. Go on to the next one. Okay. Beards, block, axles, beards versus chuckers. Okay, there's some rails there. Not seeing any problems there. Let's keep going. Okay. Oh, but there's some bugs in my rail placement to fix right here. Not done. There. So these little dudes are going to get replaced with the new Groldy character model that I will get from Isak. He's already well on his way. He'll be sending this guy to me, and I'll replace the Groldies with this character model. The one that's being used over here is meant for a different game element called a spiker. And yeah. Okay, so that seems alright. Let's save that. And come over to the next scene. Block bunker, broadsides. This one looks alright. I don't know if it's because I made a pass on it already, or some of the later levels, they wouldn't have had fucked up rails because they were made after after I had done the LOD rails. So not all of these are going to need rail fixes. Alright, there's one that's messed up. Yeah, there's the LOD issue. Okay. Not too many rails here. Use my little replacer utility. Now you would think I'm doing exactly the same thing as Unity prefabs would do on their own, but apparently not. So I've written my own prefab refresher because the one built into Unity doesn't seem to be worth a shit. That seems fine. So then let's go look around a little bit. Need a new rail end there. Rail ends there. Rail ends there. Okay. Alright, and take my 3 rail ends, unpack them, pull them, and go line them up so that they close off the rail. this one into place. Okay, I think I could maybe do one more level of rails. Okay, that one is chaotic greens, which sounds like a healthy drink. A drink that starts out as healthy, but then later on you don't feel so good. Boom. Oh, there's a lot of rails in this one though. What if I get lucky and these ones are the new rails that don't need to be updated? Aha. That's what I like. A little bit of luck. Cool. Good, because I had a lot of rails in it. That would have taken me a bit of time. Okay, crawl spaces. Death box, that's an old one. That's from the before times. I'm gonna save that. Okay, Death Compass. This one probably has fucked up rails somewhere. Let me double check. There they are. Okay. Not too many though. Okay. Then fix the rail ends. I think I'm just about done with this session. I did not fix that terrible bug, but it has the feel of a bug where I come back fresh and it's not so hard. Sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes it's more like, nope, you just gotta get grim and determined about it and just spend the hours. All right, this is going to be a session. So let's see. If anybody's still on, thanks for hanging out. I will catch you later. I feel like Cicada is going to be right in some other way in the future, and I'll be upset about that. I feel like that's going to happen, and my situation will be improved, but I'll still be resentful because he was right and I was wrong. I feel like that's definitely going to happen. But for now, I'm going to call this the end of the session. So, good night, peoples, and goodbye. Stopping the stream now.